Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about how the credible threats work. And the September rate cut is a credible threat. You can see it taking place today. And if you internalize and understand how it is that the Federal Reserve and the government and all the officials really use these credible threats in order to gain the foothold on the economy in which that they want the economy to head. Like if they want to stimulate the economy or they want to restrict the economy, the forward guidance, the jawboning, the credible threats, right, that they put out in the propagandized mainstream media will guide the markets, and we're seeing evidence of it today. Just take a look at the articles that I leave down in the description. One of them is talking about how the markets are rallying, right? The S&P is on the move up, considering that the idea of a September rate cut ahead has now got that stimulation moving into the market. However, at the exact same time, take a look at what's happening inside of the actual physical economy. That means the transactions that are taking place. There is no better example of what is taking place within the economy than to look at trucking. Nothing you have ever eaten, worn, purchased in general, everything has been moved at one time or another on a truck. And so if you see trucks, then hey, we got all-nighter up in the house? Right on, all-nighter. It's great to see you back in the house, man. God, so good. Hope you had a great time up there in Alaska. It's great to see you here in the chat today. But ultimately, when you see trucking slowing down, or if you see that the trucking industry is facing hard times, you know that the economy is slow. That is where transactions take place. It's from the events that happen within the trucking industry. Once they get the material there, it can be installed, it can be put together, it can be sold, it can be used, but the truck has to move it first. And if you have trucking slowing down, you know you have a bad economic time ahead. Now, it's difficult for the investors to necessarily see that. The people with the money, the people who are looking for a place to get a return, they are very hopeful. They are very much in anticipation of the ability to put that money somewhere where they can actually get a return. Oh, hey, who do we have here? Oh, shit. No way. Right on, man. We got all-nighter live with us today. Right on. That's what you were. That is so cool, man. Right on.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. Who knew that this was gonna happen?
Am I ruining the chat or am I adding to it?
Adding to it, brother. So cool to have you here, man. Come down for my birthday.
Yep. And mine.
And yours. Yeah. That's right. We share the same birthday. I forgot.
Almost day off.
Day off, right? Yeah. What is yours today?
28th.
The 28th, Sunday. Nice, man. That is so cool.
Hi, everyone.
Isn't this amazing? Totally surprised, man.
Oh, yeah. Do you need to call on the die, huh?
You need to call it.
Yeah.
Well, right on.
I think self-education got it right. I think 9.
9?
Yeah, I call it.
This is so rad, man. This is so unexpected. Well, shit, what are we going to do now?
Day off!
Man, if I had known, I totally would have taken the day off, man.
I'll go finagle your boss a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll sell something.
Man, I would. Right on. Okay.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember. I don't know. I was in the middle of talking slowing economic times, and I was going to talk about the September rate cut that I don't think is going to happen.
The price of fish being 80 cents a pound.
Yeah. Tell us what happened up in Alaska, man. That's good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, tell us that story.
The price of fish was 80 cents a pound, and it should be a lot more. When they're selling fillets for $20 a pound, we should be getting a lot more than 80 cents. We should be getting $3.50 a pound or so. Granted, it's whole fish, but we're out there risking our lives, and so we should get some compensation. We should get what's the world run on? Next thing now, I'm screwing up the stream.
No,
incentives. We need to be incentivized to come back and fish and risk our lives. And quite honestly, we're disincentivized to come back and risk our lives for 80 cents a pound.
Wow.
And unfortunately, a guy did lose his life this season, so it does happen.
You know, it's like we have that happening all the time out here. On the Columbia is one of the worst places that you could ever try and cross the bar on, and there is constant, losses of life out there. How was the fishing in general, though, outside of the pricing? Like, how did you do fishing?
It was slow. The fish were smaller and the run was smaller. So combined that, it was much slower.
It's a much slower time. Wow.
Yeah, we didn't catch nearly as many as we hoped for. About a third of what we should normally. And then with such a garbage price. It's not paying for my trip to Turkey.
No shit. Wow, man, isn't this amazing? So we got old Nider up in the house. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, he was going after salmon, for sure. They just found One-Eyed Willie's treasure. Actually, that's kind of funny. We went and saw the Goonies last night. So, yeah, Sarah and I and the kids went and watched. All right. You all fools who do not cash out after this pump, you will be upset next year. This is exactly like 2007. Maybe. We'll find out. Man, I don't even know how to go on with this stream now. What do we do? Like, I mean, I'm totally lost here,
I screwed it all up.
Well, dang, I wonder if I can get the rest of the day off, man. That would be fun. What do we go do?
Thanks, Space Cowboy. Appreciate that.
Yeah? What did he have to say?
Happy birthday to us.
Oh, happy birthday. Right on. Sounds fishy, all nighter.
Yeah.
So funny. Well, shoot, man. I mean, I don't know what I was going to talk about now. I totally lost my train of thought on, I mean, I was going to say stuff about people like bad news, and I'm totally lost for words.
Yeah, I was anxious to come and surprise you.
Man, that's cool. I was wondering, like, Sarah was just acting so sketchy this morning, like bailing out at 5, and I'm like, what's going on? Like whatever.
Yeah, dude. All the way to SeaTac.
All the way to Seattle you went this morning? Jesus. I wonder why you took off so early. Golly, man. Well, right on. How long are you going to be down for?
A couple days. I'm leaving the 28th.
Okay, cool.
In the morning.
Well, in the morning. Oh, that's a bummer. On Sunday, you won't be able to hang out for bingo then.
Oh, yeah.
The bingo time. Shoot.
I could see about changing my flight again, but might not be easy.
Yeah. Well, hell. What are we going to do?
Let's go fishing.
Yeah, I know. That's what we should do. We should go fishing, man. We should go down to the creeks and do something like that, man. Well, you guys got any questions? What do we do now? My whole stream is kind of different now. Safety break time for sure. Yeah, right. Should I call out sick, man? All right, take Simon on a fishing excursion. I don't know, guys. I'm not even sure what to talk about or what to do, man. I mean, do we just have to end the stream here and start it up again later or something? Totally surprised here. All nighter showing up, right in the middle of this. This is crazy.
I brought fish too.
Did you? Oh, hell yeah. We're going to have to cook some of that up.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Brought king salmon and sockeye.
Very cool. Very cool. And that's all stuff that you caught.
Yep. Hand-picked, hand-selected.
Nice.
Hand-filleted, hand-vacked.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Great stream time. What is that? Time to improv? Oh, yeah. Guest stream. Time to improv. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know how to continue on.
Stay curious. Oh man, I missed you guys.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. All right.
I really did miss you guys. Thankfully, I've had premium for years, but thankfully this year I figured out, I can download videos so I can watch them later. So I had some YouTube when I was out there. It just was a little dated.
Well, here we go. Let's get this going. All right, Jeff. When they cut rates, yields are going to skyrocket. Who in the heck would want negative yielding bonds? Yeah, that's always kind of an interesting story. I always thought about, like, man, who in the right mind would end up giving up money and then expect that they are going to get less money back than what they had given? That is like nobody would do that. Nobody in their right mind. But what ends up happening a lot of times is that people don't look at what they are going to get for a return on a bond. So if you could imagine if you had a bond that had coupons across the bottom of it that paid 10%, right? And the face value of that bond was, say, $100. Well, you could pay $100 for that bond and get a 10% yield by those 10% coupons. But eventually, if you were to pay higher price for that bond, like say instead of paying $100, you paid $110 for it, well, the coupon doesn't change. It's still 10%. But the yield that the investor gets after the investment of the purchase of the bond at 110 and then the coupons yielding 10% means that they will actually yield less than 10%, right? So now the bond gone from a 10% yield down to say 9%, or if you pay more for the bond, it can go down to 8. In fact, you can keep paying more and more for this bond until eventually it goes negative. It doesn't make sense. Like at that point, you will not get back as much money for the bond than what you had paid for it, even after the coupon payments. However, if the yields continue to go down into negative territory, you can sell that bond for a profit. So all of a sudden, the bond goes from an investment to a speculation. And that's why people would pay a negative interest rate for it. Is because they anticipate that the government may be buying bonds, driving the yields even further into negative territory, giving that investor the ability to sell the bond off for a profit. And yeah, so negative yielding bonds can't, well, I mean, it's not necessarily a negative coupon, but it's a negative yield to the investor. And yes, that can very well happen and it has happened in the economy. So, yeah.
Speculation, flight to safety maybe later too.
Yeah, like even, I mean, I guess, I don't know, like it's hard to anticipate like a negative yield being anything safe, you know? Like that to me is like the ultimate of a speculation, meaning that this is like the hot potato thing. Like you gotta get out of it before yeah, before everybody else decides that they're gonna, you know, do the same thing, and then it starts driving the yields back up, and then you're under, you know, you can't get your money back out of it again. Not even if you held it to maturity. Negative yields also good if deflation, also super liquid. Yeah, I think negative yields are actually deflationary in general. I mean, low interest rates and negative interest rates is actually deflationary upon the economy. And it's really hard for a lot of people to think that, because they think lower yields or lower interest rates means like higher asset prices, like the house prices will go up, you know, price of a car or whatever, cost of living. However, when you have low yield like that, what ends up happening is the return on capital investment. So you lend your money out there to, you know, even to the government or something, and you get a return of 1 or 2% on a 10-year. Well, that doesn't beat inflation. So by the time you get your principal back plus the interest rate, what you have is less purchasing power going into the future. That's a deflationary force. So low yields on government debt, or just low interest rates in general, or negative interest rates, is a deflationary force upon the economy. You know, it's one of the reasons why quantitative easing 1, 2, 3, and 4 failed to produce the inflationary scenario, is because the return on capital investment was so low. Boring stuff, right, guys? These guys are like, whatever, man. I don't know. All right. Well, maybe we should just cut this short at 15 and go hang out for a little bit while I still have a little bit of lunch left, and then we'll figure things out. You guys have fun meeting all-nighter here? The surprise drop in? Super cool, right?
I've been planning this for days.
Have you? Right on.
Been in my head, just bouncing around. How can I make this happen?
I'm thinking, shit, if I had known he was going to be here, I would have had a bunch more projects set up to try and get that around the house. Alrighty, guys, do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to say to all-nighter before we cut the live stream? I think we're just going to call this one a little short today. That was all-nighter. I was in Alaska for a visit. All right. He just did a bit upstairs.
Benny.
It
was all the tickets.
I know, it's old Benny. You know. Average yearly inflation exceeds 5% over time. Yeah. Uneducated fish anonymous. I have yet to meet another YouTuber in my 17 years on YouTube. Yeah, well, you got to go to one of the events. You got to go to like the Rebel Capitalist. You will meet all kinds of YouTubers if you go to the Rebel Capitalist. Oh, yeah. There's tons of them there. Even people who aren't like, you know, up there speaking or anything. There's a bunch of people.
They want to be met. They're engaging.
Yep, they are. I mean, everybody's there willing to talk and hang out and just, you know, share the networking effect. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call it quits here. Well, and then you don't get to meet anybody, do you? Charge Charger Mopar. That's the problem. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out. Uneducated Economist.
You guys let me know.
There we go. That's cool. Right on, man.